What is it you got stuck in there?
Sesame seed. Hey,
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Raiders of the Lost Flicks. I am your host, Adam, back with Phoenix West from Loitering Wonderland. We're here to talk about Episode 2 of Season 1, Command Performance. Commander Kelly, Captain Mercer go off on an assignment. Well, Captain Mercer thinks he sees his parents.
Eddie, is that you?
Winds up being a trap. While they're away, Lieutenant Kitan, who's the security officer with the ears, is put in charge of the bridge, and that's pretty much it. This one was directed by Robert Duncan McNeil, who is the Tom Paris from the Voyager series.
Written by Seth McFarlane.
Written by Seth MacFarlane. Initial thoughts, Phoenix. What do you think of this one?
Oh, can I say? I'm going to ask a question based off what you just said. Did he think was it a thought that he saw his parents, or were they actually there? I know they said they're superior technology, but did they create them, or did they? It
was a trap.
I get that, but did they take his parents, or did they recreate his parents?
They recreated his parents.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure though.
Yeah, this is they recreated his parents. They recreated the outer hull of the ship, so they trapped him.
He almost openly admits in his opening scene there with Bortus. He's talking to him, and Bortus is asking for time off to go hatch his egg and lay on it.
He lays an egg.
And Seth MacFarlane is trying joke after joke after joke, and none of them are landing. And he goes, "I'm just going to stop joking around with you." I go, "Oh, good. Thank you."
Okay. Could you promise the rest of the audience that you're going to stop? It's almost like a desperate cry for, look, I really don't have anything to work with here. Yeah. I just want a Star Trek. They're making me tell jokes, but I want a Star Trek.
Exactly. It wasn't landing, and I wish he would go up to the bridge and just, attention everyone, I'm no longer doing jokes with any of you. It's not working. I'm sorry. Let's just do Star Trek Next Generation. We all cool? Yeah, but overall thoughts, this episode came about almost a whole season too early. This should have been later down the road.
Oh, really? Okay. Developing
this girl's character, or what's her name? Kitan?
Kitan, yeah.
Kitan? Chris Kitan? It came way too early for me, and I was like, we're already here? Like, she has to take over the bridge? It felt like we needed to build up her character more, that she's nervous and scared and all this, and I was like, okay, we're already jumping into this thing. It should have been end of the season sort of thing. That's just how I thought about it.
This is Halston Sage, and her character's name is Alara Kitan. I think Halston Sage is a good actress.
Yeah, it's fine. Everyone's fine.
I agree. Great. Yeah, this is literally episode 2, and you're already doing like major
character development episode that we barely even got a cursory explanation of the characters at this point. We're already going really deep into this character where she has to change the way she views the world. I'm like, holy shit, we're already here? But way too soon for me.
My initial thoughts were, I feel like this is 2 mediocre episodes smushed together to try to make one great episode. It doesn't make for great entertainment. I think it's a little bit of an improvement over the pilot, but that's not saying much because we were a little underwhelmed by the pilot. We didn't hate it, but we didn't love it either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this is 50% that ripoff of that Twilight Zone where Roddy McDowell.
Why are you doing this? Why are you looking at me like that?
That one, okay, because they're doing that. They're totally doing that same fucking story.
Oh, I noticed. I noticed.
A little bit of Star Trek's The Cage.
I was in a cage, a cell, in some kind of a zoo.
And then, and then also, Kitan's struggling with being in charge of the ship while the captain and the commander are away. They didn't expect to be gone long. And what wound up happening is they got captured because, as we know now, this is a trap. I was happy to see Jeffrey Tambor on board, but we didn't get enough of him to really enjoy. And again, it was You could feel the Seth McFarlane jokes that Jeffrey Tambor is just straining to get through. You know,
What's he talking about? Like his penis or his
colon?
butt?
He's
His
talking about
butt?
getting a colonoscopy.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
So much so that when Seth goes to visit the parents to help them, he goes, "But just so everyone knows, my colon's fine."
It's like there's like
It's like,
a fucking 20, 30 second monologue about the importance of getting your colon cleaned out.
Yeah.
And getting seeds trapped in the folds or whatever.
I don't know.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wouldn't this have worked better? When I said this came too early, is if we established the fact that when Mercer and Kelly leave the bridge, Bortus is in charge. In this episode, Bortus does it, and he does it well, and he figures it out, and he does this. And then the next time we're like, here's Bortus. Oh, he's laying on an egg. Then just the next time, where the guy we're used to relying on, it can't be there. Now it has to go to her.
Yeah.
That would have worked better for me.
We barely know Bortus as it is, and he's already laying an egg, and he's taking a back seat in the episode. But yeah, I think I agree, and I think part of the problem too is the fact that normal Star Trek shows up until this point were about 22 some episodes, maybe 23 episodes a season.
Yeah.
In a season where you have 10 episodes, or I think this is 10 or 13 episodes.
13, yeah.
You can't rush this stuff.
No. And they rushed it in the first episode, and they're sure as shit rushing it right now. She's on space, so there's no gravity.
Artificial gravity, so she's stronger.
Yeah.
That's it. Usually he says, "Will you open this jar of pickles for me?" And then she'll smash a door open or something like that, or rip something in half. But
Pickles for me? You want to open this jar of pickles? I loosened it for you.
There's an episode of Star Trek, the animated series called Eye of the Beholder, with a spacesuit.
I have not seen much of the animated, and if I did, I was so young when I saw it that I don't remember any of it. But
It's not good. I don't recommend it.
It wasn't on very long, so I imagine it wasn't that great.
I didn't know that off the top of my head. I had to rewatch some of the episode today because I'm like, what the fuck even happened in this episode? So I was like, there's another Star Trek with a spacesuit, and I looked it up, and it was that.
But
I was thinking the cage, but I'm like, that wasn't really.
The cage definitely. Then the menagerie, which borrowed from the cage, and used that. So it's all of those things.
He couldn't use this plot as the first episode, though, the pilot.
No.
Clearly, Star Trek tried that and it didn't work. So.
Yeah, I mean, do we measure this by Star Trek standards, where most Star Trek shows, like the second episode is like one of the worst ones ever, like in pretty much all of the series? Or do we judge this by the Orville, where this is a 10, 13 episode show trying to make its own?
You can't judge it. I mean, you can't judge it off original Star Trek. You can judge it against Next Generation, though, because he's clearly going for that.
Yes.
He's just playing his own fan fiction.
It is definitely fan fiction. I was thinking that too. I'm like, he just wants to do. And I didn't mention this in the last review that we did, but Mcfarlane actually he had a cameo on Enterprise. Like I think over 2 episodes, he just had like a 1 or 2 line part. It was more or less more of a walk on than a cameo, but he did have like maybe 1 or 2 lines. But yeah, he actually is in Enterprise. Like I remember seeing him in at least 2 episodes.
I can show you right now if you like.
Sure. All right. There we go. There he is.
The man's been in Star Trek for a while because look at this fan film.
Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. Oh, no. Wow. Yeah.
He's definitely into that. He's definitely into the role playing.
I mean, he did successfully have the whole Next Generation cast on Family Guy at least once, that I remember, if not a couple of times. But, so we know he's got his Star Trek connections. He's been trying to get into it for a while. But
he's got Patrick Stewart as a regular voice on American Dad.
Yeah. He likes to wear those influences on his sleeve, and that's fine. I mean, he's definitely trying to do the Next Generation thing. But yeah, I think I kind of agree with you. I think this feels like it belongs farther down. I didn't even think of that until you mentioned it. Like towards the end of a season as opposed to literally the second episode.
Yeah, I mean, they could have literally put it 5 episodes down the line. It doesn't have to be that far. It just has to be enough where we know who the fuck we're watching and why we're watching and what their motivations are, how they handle situations. Because right now, we barely know this girl. All we know about her is she's super strong, and she's a little green. And
She's definitely green, and she's not like hardened military, and she's extremely young. So that's all they established in the last one. And they don't really bring it much farther past it in this one either, other than she doesn't want to be in charge.
But I want to see her fuck up something, so it makes you question if he should have put her in charge. And I want to see Bortus be in charge for an episode, so that way she's really being forced into something.
So that you know the difference. You can tell, you can compare and contrast the two. Yeah, because we haven't really seen anybody other than Mercer be in charge of the bridge or in charge of the show.
Right now, this is a growth episode for a character who has no even beginning, really, other than a couple interesting facts about her. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So we're compounding on a couple interesting facts, and that's all they did, instead of taking the opportunity to develop the characters naturally throughout the season. Have them fail, have them succeed. It's classic story arc stuff, and they didn't do that.
I do like the lady that plays the doctor, though. I enjoyed her the most in this episode.
Penny Johnson-Gerald.
Yeah, she was actually in Deep Space Nine. She was Cisco's girlfriend in that show.
I know my score, because I gave it out of 10, and I gave it a 7 on my side. So
okay.
I want to go 3.5, but I'll have to go 3.
Yeah,
I don't want to go 4.
Unfortunately, I think 3.5 probably. If I did do halves, I would, but I'm too lazy. I don't want to fucking. I don't want to do halves, but I think I'm going to agree on this one. I think it's still a 3 out of 5, just because it's not, it's giving me a little bit of what I want, but not enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'll be honest, 3 out of 5 is not bad. It's really not. It
at least makes you want to know more about the characters. Like they feel like they have. One of the things that I did like is the part where she goes and she relieves one of them. I think she relieves Scott Grimes, kicks him off the bridge, and then a few minutes later we see her. They got their own version of 10 Forward. They're sitting in the bar there, and when they're in the bar and she takes a shot and she sees that everybody just like doesn't want her to be there, and she's like, "Can I sit here?" And they're like, "Yeah, sit whatever. You're the boss, So then she takes the shot. She stands up. She's like, "All right, so the Admiral says I'm supposed to declare Seth McFarlane and his ex-wife MIA. We're supposed to go back to Earth, but I'm saying fuck it, let's go rescue him." Then all of a sudden everybody's like, "Yeah!" Like immediately did a 360 on how they felt about her like 2 minutes ago. Like, I appreciated that they did that, but I don't feel like it was earned.
Correct. It was earned. Her discovery of that was earned because she went and talked to the doctor. And the doctor kind of was like, well, you have to make a decision for you. Or risk your career or play it safe and have the crew hate you. Those are your options. And then
doing what you're told is not what command is all about. Yeah. I do like that. Like I said, they had more story with the doctor and Kitan like going back and forth than they did just actually showing what was going on.
If the doctor wasn't in the show, this episode would suck.
I agree.
There would be nothing for her to bounce her ideas off, and it would have even less of an impact on the character. And oh my god, the doctor was the saving grace of this episode, and she's only in a couple scenes, but her impact is echoed throughout Kitan's entire storyline throughout the whole episode. But as far as one other thing I want to touch on, I liked the look of the spacesuit. It was cool looking, and I liked everything they did there. It was cool
now
looking.
The ending of the spacesuit, the resolution as to how they got Mercer and his ex-wife out of there. They traded for some database, an extensive database.
I forgot about this.
The database is basically just reality TV episodes, and they're watching like The Bachelor or some shit, and a couple of ladies are cat fighting, and just a whole crowd of people just gathered around. It's like, and they're looking at it, and they're like, we're gonna make a fortune off this stuff. And they started naming all of the reality shows, and I know that was McFarlane's "fuck you" to reality TV. And you know what? I was with him on that one. That joke worked for me.
That one worked. However, I was getting horrible flashbacks to it turns out, the last ever episode of Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone. You might also like episode with the aliens sitting there and they're watching. I was getting horrible flashbacks of that.
Oh, yeah.
I think it might.
Oh, yeah, that one will give you PTSD. Thankfully, we don't have to watch another episode of Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone ever again. This, I think, handled that story better than, obviously better than the Twilight Zone did. Like if you're gonna rip off
Jordan
the Twilight
Peele,
Zone,
Twitter
this
Zone.
one, at least they made it fun. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It didn't, like I said, didn't make me angry. I do like this one a little bit better than the last week, but I gave it the same score because I got a little bit more of what I wanted, but just still not enough. Just like a little bit missing there. So I am Adam Wilcox. Make sure you check us out on Friday nights. We're doing the Bad Movie Watch and Review. This week we've got Mutant, aka Forbidden World, coming up, and we'll be doing a short as well. So make sure you're there, 9 p.m. on Friday night. I'll also be doing a show with this guy right here. We're doing some Twilight Zone stuff, and there you go. There it is right there. Make sure you check him out on Loitering in Wonderland, his channel, and also his website, and check out his podcasts on iTunes.
Oops.
He worked really hard on that, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
did.
So.
I have a box of letters I had to sort through.
Make sure you check that out. Anything else you'd like to plug, Phoenix, before we get out of here for this one?
No, Wednesday nights on the Loitering Wonderland are Twilight Zone reviews. Tuesdays are Twilight Zones. Wednesday is Anthology Show, and then usually John Carpenter movie. So if you like John Carpenter movies and random 1950s appears to always be 1950s.
Oh, God, yeah.
Anthology
Craft Dinner
Studios.
Theater. Thank you so much for introducing me to that fucking pile of shit. Suspense. I kid you. It's fun. I love every minute of it.
Yeah, check that out. LIW the TZ Review on Twitter.
Ain't nobody got time for that.